What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Christian Elijah here, and I'm just another guy who happens to be trans. So today's video, we're going to talk about sexual changes as well as sexuality changes while on testosterone. So trigger warning, we're going to be talking about some sensitive subject, and if this is not what you want to hear, I would click away now. So let's get to it. So the first thing is that your libido is going to change. Now, it's usually going to increase. Of course, this might depend on who you are and where you are in your stage of life. But when I was about 23, 24, 25, my libido just shot up. It was already pretty high to begin with, so it was even higher than before. So, you are going through a second puberty, take that into consideration and just kind of roll with the punches. Secondly, there's going to be bottom growth. So basically, according to my research, within your first 3 to 6 months, that's kind of when it happens. It happens pretty rapidly. For me, it was kind of painful. I know that it's not painful for everybody, but for me it was. And it just seemed like the wind would blow and I would want to have some personal time because I would get so aroused so easily. So if I know in one forum on Facebook, a guy was talking about what to do with the pain. I had to wear looser boxers. Another guy suggested maybe using some lubrication because the skin is really sensitive. So those are things you can try. And just, anytime you're growing whether you're growing taller, whether that's growing or anything else, there could be some discomfort. It's not unbearable. It's not, something you can't handle. At least I was able to handle it. I can't speak for everybody, but it does go away and it's not like that forever. So, yeah. Now I want to touch on a whole other subject. So the subject is about sexuality changes when you are transitioning. Now, an article I read, I can post it in the description, talks about how 40% of all guys transitioning experience some sexuality changes. They do not know why. In the study, they had about 113 people. Of course, our studies aren't as large as we'd like because there's, back in 2012 when they did the study, we just didn't have a large pool to be a part of. So hopefully more studies will come out and they'll try to figure out why this is. It doesn't really matter. It is what it is. But yeah, so 40% of those people had actual changes in their sexuality. In regards to my sexuality, so prior to transitioning, I was a lesbian and I had only been I really only liked women. And, when I came out, I remember, my family is Mormon and I grew up in a very traditional Mormon household. So it wasn't something that was okay. And, they've come a long way now, but, I had to really fight to be like, this is who I am. I can't change this. It's not like I wanted to this. I didn't choose this kind of thing. And, so when my sexuality started changing, so I wanted to touch on things that I learned that I posed this question. Sorry for mumbling, but I posed this question. So I posed the question on a couple sites on Facebook, some of my transgender trans men groups, about if their sexuality changed. And I got responses for about a couple hundred guys. And these are kind of the answers that I got. I'm sorry if I'm misquoting any information or not explaining it properly, but I just wanted to kind of give outside perspectives from people at different stages of their transition. So the first group said there was no sexuality change whatsoever. They liked girls and continued to like girls, or they liked guys and continued to like guys. Another group was another group of people said because I became more comfortable in my body, I was more willing to explore things that I wasn't willing to do before, especially after like top surgery, starting to look more male and things like that. Third thing I learned was because our libido is up, we have more of a curiosity, I guess, or a drive to explore things. And I also realized that, some people were they weren't comfortable, and I can attest to this. For me, they were more comfortable exploring with gay men than straight men because they wanted to be seen as a man rather than being seen as a woman. And there's nothing worse. I don't care if I'm with a guy or a girl. If I feel like they're looking at me as a woman, it really messes with my dysphoria, and I can't be attracted anymore. It totally kills it for me. So being seen as my true authentic self makes me feel sexy. It makes me feel confident. And so I think that probably has a lot to do with it as well. Um, so fourth thing is that, actually that was number 3 and 4. Sorry, I put them together. So the fifth thing is that some people completely changed whatsoever. There were a number of people that said that, prior to, they only dated women and now they're, gay, or they only dated men and now they're straight. So I think it really just depends on the person. And, who knows what this phenomenon is? Who knows, if it's just being comfortable, it's just, being open-minded. The more you honor your own truth and the more secure within yourself, you don't feel bound or confined by, societal stereotypes and societal rules on who you can and cannot be with. And then the last thing I wanted to touch on is that, and a number of people said this as well, and this is something I actually learned in therapy, is that sometimes, I'm with men because I want what they have. And so it's like this weird way of, I don't even know how to explain it, this weird way of going for something that I wish I had. Sometimes that makes some people more dysphoric. And for me, it's like, I want this body part, so I'm going to use it, so that doesn't mean you're necessarily attracted to that gender, but it just is, something that could be psychologically going on. I think the biggest thing to learn from transitioning and any changes that go through is that you're going to go through, you start thinking differently when you're on testosterone. Not like so different than who you are, but anytime your mind is growing and you're growing as a person and you're learning to accept yourself and you're honoring your truth, then you're more willing to do things and more willing to open up about things than you were prior. Know that you're on a journey. It's a wonderful journey. It gets better. And, you're going to meet amazing people on the way, and just be open-minded. Find people that you feel safe with. Find, if you need to get toys, if you, to re-explore your body because your body's changing. Just know that you're perfect as you are. And, no matter what society says, there's nothing wrong with being a gay guy. There's nothing wrong with being a bisexual guy or pansexual guy or any of those things. And there's nothing wrong if you're asexual. You like who you like, or you don't. If you have issues with it, I'm a big believer in therapy. Therapy during transition is very important because you're changing and you're growing. And I think it can really help with any confusion. So these are kind of the sexual changes, sexuality changes, as well as I touched on, like bottom growth and things like that. So it's a wonderful journey becoming the man that you are, and, keep it up, and, keep learning and keep asking questions. If, this of course is not a blanket statement. This is just something that from the research that I've done. You can always ask me any more questions, ask other people that if you're not comfortable with me. And if there is anything you want to learn about, just let me know, and I'll hopefully hear from you soon. Have a great day. Stay safe. Wash your hands. Wear a mask, and hopefully this pandemic will be over very soon. Have a blessed day. Bye.